How to become a better pilot in Delta Force Hawk Ops. Well, I don't think I'm the best pilot. There is a lot of great pilots out there. I do have my own strategy, my own way of flying. I've been flying a lot of simulators over the years and all the battlefields, of course. Many of you have made requests for me to make a video like this, and hence here it is for you all. And hopefully you all can pick something up out of this video to help you fly better. First of all, the FOV for third person is set to 100 by default. That is way too close for helicopters, for aerial. So we're going to bump it up. We're going to move it to 130. Much further back, right? Don't worry, we'll get a side-by-side comparison here. And we'll see the difference between 100 on the left and 130 on the right. Same position, much further back. I honestly think it should be further back, more. So let's take a look here at this little clip here. We'll come out of the first person and go into third, flying over this area. It's just way too close. I cannot see further. So honestly, this is at 130 right here. In my opinion, it needs to be further back so you can see further ahead of you when you're flying in third person. There you go. If I switch around, much better view, more leveled out. All right, so let's take a look at some of the sensitivities here. I have not touched anything except for this one. I bumped it up to 6.0. I lowered it back down to 5.5. I'm still playing around with this one, but I like it at 5.5 right now. That's for third person. Everything else I left the same. Just felt it was too fast for the other, switching it. So this is, not that it really matters, but I use a SteelSeries Prime Plus at 1600 DPI, and the mouse sensitivity is 1.77. Very important here. This is what is, I think, messing up a lot of pilots, players, is that inverted aircraft was set to off. Here's the problem with this. You pull down on the mouse, you look up, okay? You should, like infantry, you pull down, you should look down, right? So, and if you look up, you move the mouse forward, you're looking up. So when it's turned off, when you look up, you look down. It's the opposite. So switch that. That should help you guys out with that portion. Now, not that it really matters again, but I use a SteelSeries Apex Pro keyboard. These are all my key bindings here. I changed the enter exit to Y because why? I accidentally hit E sometimes when I'm using W for throttle, and I eject myself. I've done that many times by fat fingering that, and yeah, then I'm out of the helicopter. Down here for the aircraft, of course, it's all default. These are your throttles. I don't know why it says forward, but that's your throttle up. The S is throttle down. Forward backwards doesn't make sense to me. Left is your yaw. Right is your yaw. I keep them there on purpose. I don't use a mouse for my yaws. Some people do. Now all these down here. I don't even use these. Shift, control for ascend, descend. That's your throttle. That's your WS. Roll, I don't even do that on the keyboard. I use my mouse for that. It's a much more smoother transition. Now, I set spacebar to pitch up. That's descend because you have it flipped. Remember, you turn the invert back on. So, to give you some examples here, the reason why I have spacebar is to make a more aggressive turnaround. So here, there's a tank. I can't lock onto him. So I'm going to apply some pressure with my anti-vehicle rockets. Here, I'll use my mouse to kind of turn around, hold the throttle, hold the yaw left, and get yourself some altitude. Then you can come down on the tank again and start pestering him with more of those. Now here I'm going to do I'm going to hold the space bar, do a left yaw and throttle, and it's going to see that real aggressive turnaround. As you saw there, flipped around really quickly, take him out. That's the power of using the space bar for pitch. All right, so staying alive in this game with the Apache is important to me. It's key because it could determine the outcome in this game. You can get shot down a lot faster in this game than you can Battlefield. All right, so let's say that's you up in the air. I'm down here. I get you to pop your flares. I would expect you to keep going. until you get your flares back. But this pilot, he turns around. Now, let's just say he went straight. I would have hit him with 1. But by turning around, he's vulnerable now. He doesn't have his flares, and there he is. He's out of the sky. So, very important to be patient and wait for your flares to come back. Now, here's another example. He popped his flares over to the right earlier, and he's coming back in with no flares, and of course, they get taken out of the sky. Again, this game, you will get shot down faster than Battlefield. Okay? 2042, you can stay alive for a long time and just going around killing infantry and farming, and you just stay alive a lot longer. In this game, you cannot do that in the helicopter. This one here, he popped his flares over to the right. I was looking for him. Here's the result. He doesn't have any flares, and I take him out. Very important. Plan your attacks in this game. Leverage the map. Look for armor. Plan out your attacks, because if you don't, and you're just hovering around, listen, as people get better, players get better, there will be much more anti-air. Okay? Trust me. Yeah, I've been in some games and they're already on it. So plan your attacks like this. Use your map like I did there. Scope out that tank. That tank was sitting on the mountain, just firing in on all our troops. I worked my way over there to get behind him to take him out. Okay, so he's gone. Now, surprisingly, there was an anti-air that spawned in, and he almost kills me here. I just find the best coverage that you can. And I'm not worried about the helicopters in this game. You'll see in my next video, air-to-air combat. It's different. It's not as easy as Battlefield, trust me. Now, see, that AA tried to go out of bounds to get me. I'm going to plan my attack here. Okay. I'm not worried about the other helicopter. I'm worried about that AA. I go out there, he's going to chew me up like it's nothing, all right? I need to get him first. So, I get artillery here. I plan my attack. I put some artillery on him. Get back in and wait a few seconds here for the artillery to kick in. And now I'm going to go in for the kill. Planning your attack route in this game is so important. It will surprise armor, keep you alive, and open the field up for your troops to get in. Now they can capture that point. Alright, earlier I saw a tank and an AA and on the map. So I moved further outside. There they are. I moved further outside the map so they couldn't see me. And now we're going to go in for the attack. So here I lock on to the tank, which was by accident. Switch it and get rid of that AA before the tank. Do not go for the tank. Get rid of the anti-air. That thing will chew you up. If it would have caused a lot of damage if I would have went for the tank first. Okay. So here we'll save the tank. Feels a little slow. Put a little bit of negative there down, and you'll get some speed. That'll push you forward, and then you can finish off the tank. Now there is a lot of good tank drivers out there that can shoot down a helicopter. I was pretty far out, so it may have taken a couple shots, but that's how I would do that type of scenario to attack. Changing altitudes is very important. After you attack something, especially anti-air, if you cannot take it out, it is important to change your altitude. So here's a good example. I was down over there in the bottom on the left. There's an AA over there at B. Okay, he knew I was over there, and every time I tried to make an attack, he would just hit me with that 30 mil, okay, and it was damaging me pretty bad. So I switched up here. As you can see, I'm way over here. I see him. He doesn't know I'm there. I'm now going to drop my altitude, and I'm going to come in with a sneaky approach, very low, right? Be patient. You know, I'm not trying to rack up the kills. I'm trying to strategically control the battlefield, okay, so that your team can move into their points and and ultimately win the game, right? So here, I cannot lock onto him. So I have to switch my anti. I know I'm not going to take him out just with these rockets, but I can put a lot of damage on him. Okay, so here's the crazy thing. He saw me. See? He already locked onto me. He's already hitting me. I was already descending as I attacked him because I knew I couldn't take him out with just the anti-vehicle rockets unless he was half health. I couldn't put a Hellfire on him. Okay? So he was already hitting me. I was already descending, learning the maps, learning your cover, learning your routes, right? That's important. Look, I chased him out of there. If our team was doing its job, it would now know, hey, that AA's gone, let's move in. But, yeah, I wish we can communicate to the whole team. So here, I'm going to try to go get him. This is where I was earlier, and that's similar where he was before. But he was on the hill. See? He's already hit me. He already knows. So I changed my course there. You notice how I went right? I move left now. Now I'm going to strafe a little bit to my right, moving right, moving right. He has to change his aiming, and that's how I take him out. Because you can practice that. Practice your movement in the air, kind of moving sideways. They're going to have to adjust. You don't. Remember that. You don't have to adjust. You're already locked onto him. So that is an upper advantage when going head-to-head against AA. All right, so here there is another AA way over there in a tank, and they saw me. So I'm going to move my location. So I'm flying really low here. Notice how so when you're flying this low, you got to throttle you got to tap the throttle almost off and on, off and on. You cannot hold down on it because you'll go too high and kind of feather it. It takes a little bit to get used to, right? Let's see, they saw me. I tried to change my location to get in a different area, but just pull up on the nose a little bit and you'll slow down. So just some miscellaneous things here I'd like to touch on between Delta Force versus Battlefield 2042, okay? I've been noticing this a lot in Delta Force, okay? A lot of pilots probably are coming from 2042 and trying this in Delta Force, and it's just not as easy, right? So here, I deliberately not take out that tank so I can switch to the gunner seat. It's very easy to do. The helicopter floats, right? He bailed, but the tank is destroyed. Couple infantry down there. I'm not very high. I can just sit there and take him out, no problem. It's super easy to do in Battlefield 2042. It's like an arcade versus Delta Force is not super arcadey, and I love it that way, okay? And so here's another example I'll show you in 2042. My altitude is not super high, but yet the helicopter will float and allow you to take that out and even switch and take that out. So then showing you an example in Delta Force. If I switch here, my momentum, look at that. That's the way that it should be that way. You shouldn't be able to just sit up there, switch off. Now, if you're level like this, so we're going to do it here, switch to the gunner seat, and you'll notice here how fast it starts to drop. Look at that. That's perfect. That's the way that it should be. And even if I was flying forward and did that, it would have dropped even faster. That's the way this game should be. It should not make it easy for a single person flying this to do that and just completely sit there and farm people. This guy was trying to do that. He was sitting up there by himself, switching back and forth, and look, he lost control of it. He probably lost control in the gunner seat, tried to recover, and here's the result. It's a perfectly good Apache that's lost. In Delta Force, I would love if there's a rear view camera. I love it. And that's one thing I love in Battlefield 2042 is that rear view, to see if anybody's behind you, and you can get a head start on countering the attack. Well, that is it, everyone. I hope that you learned something from this and that you all become better pilots. I did the best I could to show you everything. So keep flying, keep practicing, take care, be safe, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.